Children, I am back. Yes, it is me, Gamer Ariel, on this Wednesday, April 1st, 2020. I hope you're doing well, everyone. How are you? Hope everyone's hanging in there. Hope everyone's healthy and staying positive. The IG Live train continues to roll along here on this Wednesday afternoon. Got a good little session planned for all of you in a matter of moments. We're going to be joined by the heavyweight champion of the world, Stipe Miocic, and there they suck right off the bat. How perfect. Stipe Miocic, there he is. My old friend Stipe, coming out with the heat off the top. How are you, sir?
What's up, sir? Good. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. Do you like my gamer headset here? I'm trying to be a gamer during this quarantine.
Looks like a Turtle Beaches.
Is that, people keep saying Turtle Beaches. What is Turtle Beaches?
That's set of headphones. Set of headphones.
Oh, that's like the name of the brand?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, are they cool? Like, do I look cool to you?
Yeah. Actually, hold on a second.
Do you got the same ones?
Not. I used to. Those are older. I got newer ones.
Oh, sorry. Oh, look at you. Look at you. Always one-upping me. Stipe, how are things over there in Ohio? How's your family? How's everyone?
I mean, everyone's doing good. We're quarantined for another 4 weeks. Well, kind of quarantined. Just not allowed to go anywhere unless it's for work or for food. But pretty much, spring cleaning.
So you sent out a tweet around a week ago, which caught a lot of people's attention. Of course, we know that you are a full-time firefighter, but it was in reference to
Part-time.
some part-time, excuse me, in reference to the fighting and stuff. And you said, basically, you're not focused on that right now. You're focused on being a firefighter and a first responder. So, what is life like for you as a firefighter right now?
I mean, we haven't like some areas are different. Some areas are more they have more of the COVID. Where I'm at, we're not too bad right now. But like I said, it's going to get probably worse. They think it's going to get worse. So hopefully, everyone's listening and staying in and not, touching everything or being around people. But so far so good. I mean, knock on wood. But some other places, they've been a lot worse. But we're taking our precautions. Wear goggles, masks, gloves, gowns if we have to. So we're doing whatever we got to do.
How often are you going in these days?
I'm going again here on the 8th, and then I look at my schedule, but I'll probably be going in a lot more, I think, because I need more manpower.
Do you feel comfortable being around? I mean, this is what you signed up for, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay in. No, I'm definitely, I'm gonna, when they need me, I'll be there.
Do you have to take extra precautions? Is there things that, you have to do differently now when you're
Uh,
around other people or at work?
yeah, I mean, you can't really handshake anymore. But
Right.
you're next to them all the time, so it's kind of like that 6 foot, like, if you're on a squad call, you're right next to each other. So
Right.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, things we've done is just staying clean. After a call, they said wash your clothes if the person had COVID, or just disinfect the squad the best you can. Just wipe it all down. So it sucks because you don't have to do that every call. But now, if it's someone with maybe have the symptoms or could have it, you have to wipe it all down.
So in terms of your outfit, do you have to clean that every time as well now?
Well, they said to. So I mean, the washer just that be on the safe side. So I mean. And like I would, we had one call with a possible one, but I didn't have to go on that one, so I got fortunately, but it's gonna be many more coming here when I get back to work. I know it.
Right. And by the way, how does one wash a fire suit like that? Like you don't just put it in a regular
Oh,
or
no, we don't wear bunker. No. We wear regular blues. I have blue pants, shirt,
okay.
station
Okay.
shirt. Yeah, no. It's a regular clothing.
But
like
like the outer suit, how do you wash
no,
that?
there's a special washer and dryer and stuff for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And also some news last week, unfortunate news about the earthquake in Zagreb, which
Crazy.
you is your family okay? Does your family live around
Yeah,
Zagreb?
yeah. I haven't heard anything terrible. My mom either. So knock on wood. So they did a great job. Helping everyone out in the city and making sure there's good. But it was crazy. I couldn't believe how big it was, and it's crazy how everything's just happening.
Yeah. So what are you doing to stay positive? A lot of people, are at home and looking for things to be positive about. What keeps your mind going?
Well, I mean, first thing in the morning when I wake up, I piss excellence, so that's a good start. Um, I'm just joking. No,
No, I mean, I don't doubt it.
no. Honestly, I just, I have my wife and my daughter here. think just hanging out with them all day has been great. And we're doing a lot of stuff around the house that we wouldn't be doing right away. So we're spring cleaning. We're like clean everything out. We got a lot more to do, but taking on wallpaper now. So we have something going on.
Wow, domesticated Stipe.
Listen, it's a lot of manly stuff.
I've seen and heard from fighters that some are still training. Are you still training, or are you taking a break?
No, I mean I've been doing a little bit. I have a bike and a treadmill. I'm not really into the treadmill because it hurts my legs more. I use the one that's anti-gravity, but I can't use it because it's at another place, so I can't leave.
Ah.
So, but I use the bike and stuff, and just do the little small things. We have kettlebells and stuff like that. So we have a little gym area. It's pretty nice.
I saw on your Instagram that you and the family recently went to Disney World, or was it Disneyland? Which one was it? Florida or California?
Florida, one in Florida.
First time?
Yeah, that one, yes. I was in the other one, California, when I was 14, but that one, yeah, that was fun. We brought our whole family. It was great.
What was it like?
It was great. So, well, it was funny because like literally driving to the airport, my wife's like, "Man," she's like, "I don't feel so good," and she gets sick, and then my daughter gets sick, and she gets a fever.
Oh no.
So yeah, but my daughter was a champ. She didn't care. She went in the pool, like went ham. Like it was. She had the greatest time, and honestly, we had so much fun. We had like a little like condo, kind of like it was a hotel, but it was a big like a 3-bedroom. It was awesome. We had a kitchen, and they had a massive pool too. So we didn't go every year to Disney. We only went twice, but it was so much fun. It was just nice to get away and just enjoy it with the family.
Yeah, and you got it in before all these travel bans. But wait, let me just be clear. Did your wife have COVID?
No, not that I know of. I mean, she didn't have like but who knows? But she's fine now. So
Okay. Thank God. Yeah. Before it's amazing how much has changed in the past month leading up to all this. Like leading up to early March, I was bothering your manager Jim Walter quite a bit about your eye, and he told me that you had an appointment for your eye, and then I saw you pop up on TMZ as well. Did you ever get the eye checked out? Like, did you ever get cleared?
I did get clean, so I still have spots in my eye. So
Okay.
I'm still taking my time to get back and just see how it works and just to see how my eye feels, man. It's, I love fighting, but I got to make sure my eye's okay first. I'd rather see my daughter with 2 than 1.
Of course. So it's still actually bothering you a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I still have spots, so
Okay.
the floaties and stuff.
What did the doctor say?
I tore my retina.
Right, but in terms of like if you're cleared or if it's
Yeah, he said,
safe.
he said you look good. He's like, just take your time getting back. Don't be stupid, and don't forget you already injured it, so it's prone to get injured again. So don't be.
Yeah.
You know.
So perhaps this buys you a little time, right? People are probably less on your back right now, like barking at you to come back.
I'm not worried about that right now. Like right now, I'm task at hand. I'm worried about what's going on in the world, and once this is over with, and get back normal life, then we'll worry about it.
When you run, does your eye bother you?
No, not.
It's just the spots.
Yeah, just the spots. It feels like there's like a fly or something flying by. I'm like, it's weird.
Is it the right or the left?
Left.
Okay, so I have to watch out for that one. I see it. Yeah, I could see it right over there.
Crazy, right?
Yes. And you've been doing a lot of gaming these days, I see on your Twitch. What do you
I haven't been on the last couple of days, been busy with work and stuff, but
what have you been busy with? Saving lives?
Yeah, that, and then a bunch of stuff around the house to do, and make sure we're good to go. And, I love gaming, but I gotta make sure family comes first.
Right. What's your game of choice?
Right now it's Call of Duty Warzone. Well, I'm playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but I've been playing the Warzone a lot on that one. But I like the multiplayer also. Yeah,
maybe one day we could link up and play. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, are you good?
No, I've never played, but I have the headset. I don't know if you can see.
That's half the battle. That's half the battle.
Is Call of Duty 1 versus 1, or is it me and you on the same team?
Well, no, you can. So they have multiplayer. You get up to like 5 or depending what game it is, you get 5 or 6 guys, and then on Warzone right now you can do solos, duos, solos, 3 trios, and then I think they're gonna put in 4s and 5s, maybe duos too. I don't know.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You totally lost me there.
Okay, teams you get by yourself. So
yeah. Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah.
You have a team of 3, and then eventually it might be 4 or 5. I don't know, but it's fun. It's very interesting game just because you can die fast in that game.
Best fighter gamer. Who is it?
Well, I don't know. Probably DJ.
Yeah, has to be DJ, right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I mean, not like.
Weidman's pretty good, I hear.
I think so. Yeah, I played Wonder Boy the one day at this team, and we smashed him. It was awesome.
Max Holloway.
Yeah, Yeah, he's pretty
right?
good too.
Sean
Yeah,
O'Malley's very into it. I don't know if you
yeah,
know about
he's
him.
real good. He's good at Fortnite. I know that.
That's right. Recently in mid-February, so about a month and a half ago, we had the heavyweight boxing match between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Did you watch that? I mean,
I did.
yeah. What'd you think? I mean, you're the fellow heavyweight champ. What'd you think?
Great, it was a great fight. I mean, I think I mean, I feel like he ruptured his eardrum. That's why he was off. I feel like equilibrium was out. I think he just when he, what I mean, him in the ear. You ever get like an earache? You just don't feel like you're on right. I think he just hit him with that shot to the ear and kind of messed him up. And I think he couldn't recover. But I give Wilder a lot of credit. He's tough. He didn't want to quit. And I give Fury a ton of credit because he came in there and just smashed him. And he said he's a pillow puncher and he definitely didn't look like one.
Yeah, yeah. What did you think of Wilder's excuse about the gear that he was wearing?
Um, I mean, it is what it is. Listen, I would never make that excuse. First off, I would never walk out with that much gear on. I would just walk out and get ready for the fight. That's just me personally.
How much does firefighter gear weigh? Probably more than 40 pounds, and you guys are climbing up trees and saving people and going to houses and whatnot.
No, that's city workers. We don't climb trees, dude.
Oh,
That's
okay,
all.
sorry, my bad.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of gear, man. It's plus you got your pack, your air pack, and depending if you have to go, upstairs, and sometimes you need like um, bring up hose and stuff. There's a lot of stuff you can bring. It adds a lot, but it is what it is.
So on the broadcast, Max Kellerman said that the baddest man on the planet isn't the heavyweight boxing champion of the world. It's the UFC heavyweight champion of the world because you have to, encompass all forms of martial arts. What do you think of that? He's literally he didn't say you by name, but he's saying that you're the baddest man on the planet.
It's pretty sweet. It's nice to hear. It's kind of
Do you
humbling.
agree?
Sure. Yeah, man. Of course.
Wow.
That's right.
How convincing?
Oh yeah.
Fury also told me that he's now kind of off the whole like MMA thing, but he would be interested in fighting the heavyweight champion you in a cage with MMA gloves, but boxing rules.
That makes no sense.
Why?
I don't know. So wait, boxing rules in a cage, like
Boxing
whatever.
rules meaning
I mean,
just
I'm down for
punches
whatever.
with
I'm down.
gloves, with 4-ounce gloves, but in the cage. So you're kind of mixing the two.
Sure. Yeah, I'm down.
You don't seem that interested.
No, I mean I'm down. No, 100% I would do it. 100% no question. I mean, if I do a boxing match, I think it's
Just straight boxing with
yeah,
boxing gloves?
yeah, straight boxing, box gloves, ring, all that stuff. Wear the 40-pound gear to walk out in, whatever.
But doesn't this favor you? The idea that he threw out favors you because you're used to fighting in those gloves as opposed to him.
Well, I mean, you like it more. It's 4-ounce gloves to 10-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
I mean, you like that.
Advantage you.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't care. I mean, if we can clinch and stuff and don't get pulled apart against the cage, I'm down. I think it's working.
Okay, I've been asking a lot of fighters over the past week. Give me an underrated fight. Underrated fight, a fight that people don't talk about that you suggest they go watch. People are looking for things to do. What's a fight that you like? You were coming up, you were a kid, I don't know. You were cornering a friend, you were at an event, something. Underrated fight. I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but is there one that comes to mind? Or two?
Uh, isn't a Lawler Henderson fight? No,
Lawler Henderson.
not Lawler. Lawler, I can't
McDonald?
No, Hendricks.
Yeah?
The first one wasn't it? They didn't just throw bombs left and right the whole fight.
Yeah, UFC 171.
Yeah, they just no one really talks about it. I feel like that was like an amazing fight. I feel like they just didn't stop.
Okay, so UFC 171, Dallas, Texas, I believe March of 2014. How about that, Stipe? Are you surprised? Are you impressed by my knowledge here?
I don't even remember what I fight, dude. I mean,
You know what I would say? A classic Stipe fight that people don't talk about. Can I give one?
yeah.
UFC 161.
Oh, Roy Nelson, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. That was I feel like that was a turning point in your career.
Yeah, I think that's when my coming out party, you would say.
Well, you took that fight on short notice, I believe, right?
No, I was getting ready for that fight with Sal Paleli at the time.
And
then,
Roy jumped in.
yeah, because the other guy, the main event went down, and then Roy's like, I'll save the card, and then I got there. I was like, yeah, for sure, whatever, 3-4 weeks. It was after I lost the Struth, too. I had knee surgery, too. So I was like, man, this is really not good. So I'm like, whatever. I took the fight, and then I remember getting that first day, and then a bunch of reporters talking, and they're like, man, you got a rough one in the first round, huh? Like, they're like telling me I was getting knocked out in the first round.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Those damn reporters.
I don't remember who it was, but You
Because
gotta move.
your last fight was in September of the previous year against Struve in England, right?
Hmm.
So you hadn't fought since. So you were
Yeah,
risking a lot taking this fight because Nelson was on a roll, if I remember.
yeah, he had like 3 first round knockouts.
Yeah, and you just pieced him up.
I tried, he got a good chin.
I said afterwards, I remember saying that that was the biggest upset by a Cleveland State alum since they won in the NCAA tournament like 20 years prior. You remember that?
Yeah,
That was one
yeah.
of the happiest analogies of my life. I was very proud of that one. So for you, Stipe, now we're just focused on the job, being at home, being with the family, not
Yeah.
worried about returning, not trying to save any cards or anything like that.
No, man, I'm just you know, taking it day by day. I'm just making sure my family's okay first, and then go out and do my duty.
Is there a chance? I know you get annoyed at me when I ask this, but is there a chance you have fought your last fight, Stipe?
No, no, not that I know of. I mean, right now my fight is it's coronavirus.
Right. Okay. All right.
I
Just
don't
want.
have it. Everyone's watching. I don't have it. I'm just trying to
You're trying to
help
protect the
people.
people.
People, yes.
That's right. And are they going to ask you to come in more? You think?
Yeah, I mean, like the first day when it all started, I went in and I hung out for another 4 or 5 hours just because we were getting a lot of calls, and it was like pandemonium that day. We had a torrential downpour, and we have canals by. They flooded the streets, and people feel like they can drive through it, and they get stuck, and they help them. And then you get a medical call. It could be possible COVID. It was crazy 5 hours.
Wow. And so, but are they telling you now, like, hey, be prepared, we might need you more?
Yeah,
Or can you
yeah.
not work a certain amount of hours because you're
No,
part-time?
no, no. At this point, they don't care.
Okay,
I
wow.
mean,
All
they're,
right.
they're literally, they're literally, I mean, they're literally telling retired nurses and doctors to dust everything off and come back. I mean, it's getting serious. They want to make sure hands on, they're ready to go if something it gets bad.
Right. And by the way, at the firehouse, what's the worst thing they ever made you do? Like the grossest thing? Tell us a good story. Make us laugh here, Stipe.
The grossest thing. I don't know. I mean, they make me like clean a toilet. I mean, like I have to clean a
It's
toilet
pretty...
all the time. I mean, they make me
Still?
put the belt on. Yeah, they made me sit in the front of the apron right when I won the title the first time and wave to everyone, which no one knew who I was. Um, yeah. And then they bring me everywhere, and they're like, "Oh, hey, this is," and they try to embarrass me, and it's just like
And people say no?
no, yeah. I mean, like, no, now they know, but before they really didn't care. So, but everyone's respectful, and but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff kind of I really can't say, but
Oh, wow. Why? Secret?
no, no, we're good guys.
Yeah. Look at all those belts behind you there. One of
Yeah.
these days, wow, look at that. You got the new one. You got all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to let Dana White wrap those around your waist, right, Stipe?
No, no, I'm good now. We're good.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Stipe, you're a mensch. Thank you very much for doing this, my man. I appreciate it. All the best to you and your family. And we're very proud of you in the MMA community. You're helping out the people. You're going on the front lines. Keep it up, my man.
Thanks, Roman. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on. And be safe to you and your family too, man.
Thank you. There he is, the heavyweight king, Stipe Miocic. You just press the X right over there,
Got
Stipe.
it. I got it.
And then you're out. Boom. Stipe Miocic, kind enough to join us. Got some good news, by the way, this morning. Saw some posts from fighters on Instagram. Also saw MMA Fighting, PT Carroll, my good friend, writing a story about this. That there are multiple fighters now who were scheduled to compete on the London card, which was supposed to happen on March 21st, are now saying that they are getting paid. Now, I've talked to 5 or 6 of them, and they're saying that they're either getting show money or a portion of their show money. But there was some concern, there were some questions regarding whether or not they would get paid anything. And so a lot of them that I've talked to are now saying that they're happy, they feel like it's fair getting either their show money or a portion of their show money. I've talked to Molly McCann, I've talked to Nicholas Dalby, I talked to Kevin Holland, I talked to who else? Talked to a few other people. Um, Someone close to Makwan Amir Khani and John Phillips. So 5 or 6 or so. And they're all saying right now that they're happy. I've talked to the main eventers and they said they haven't heard anything just yet. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not really sure how they decided who gets what. Perhaps it's a tiered system or something like that. But a lot of the fighters who were scheduled to compete on that London card are now saying that they are in fact going to get paid. Not all of them have gotten the money yet, but they've gotten confirmation from the UFC that that's going to happen. So I think that's very good news. In addition to that, yesterday we got a statement from Jon Jones. I want to tell you about this statement in case you missed it. Jon Jones came out with his first statement after it was announced that he has entered a plea agreement with the Albuquerque DA's office. This is his statement. While we all work to understand and cope with stress and uncertainties surrounding the current state of our world, I want to express how truly disappointed I am that I've become the source of a negative headline again, especially during these trying times. I'm disappointed for letting down the people I care about the most, my family, friends, and my fans. This morning, I entered into a plea deal with the Albuquerque DA's office. I accept full responsibility for my actions, and I know that I have some personal work to do, which involves the unhealthy relationship I have with alcohol. I've dedicated so much time and energy to improve my community, and I will not allow this personal setback to hinder my work within the community when we need it most. I truly appreciate the support I received from the community of Albuquerque and all my fans around the world. I very much look forward to putting this behind me. Thanks you all for your continued love and support, and please take care of yourself. So there you go. There's Jon Jones and his statement. Regarding 249, did see that report from the Mac Life saying that now there's a chance that Khabib will be able to leave Russia. I don't know what to believe on this April 1st. It's all, I mean, this is bigger than all of us. We're talking about, borders here, global borders. We're talking about government regulation. Who the heck knows? But last I checked, they are still trying to put on 249. In fact, I just saw Andrei Arlovsky post that he just went to the doctor and got his eyes checked out and did a whole thing there. So it seems like the fighters who are still scheduled to compete on that card are going through the motions, medicals, cornerman outfits, all that stuff. So we'll see what happens. Yes, let's all talk about Khabib. Yes, I got you guys. I see the messages. What do you want me to say? Oh, my dear God. Let's talk to this man who's all fired up. Funk Master. Aljamain Sterling. He's fired up right now. There he is. Aljo in the house.
Yeah.
What's happening, Aljo? Good job on that MMA fighting video, the pain video, you and Mirab. Well done.
Oh, yeah. That was good times, man.
But here's my question. You guys were all next to each other there. You weren't practicing social distancing.
Sometimes you just crack a window and hopefully everyone breathes the fresh oxygen coming inside the car.
Fair enough. What's going on with the beard there, Aljo? We letting it go or what?
Yeah, I want to see how long I can get this bad boy to grow out. I might be it might be down to my toes by the time I get a title shot.
Oh,
that's how
so
long.
Okay, so let's talk. Yeah, you're all fired up here. What are you thinking? What are you fired up about?
I just don't get the nonsense from Triple Clown himself. He knows that Aldo might not be able to come back to the States to take the fight. The same situation that's happening with Khabib and Tony Ferguson. But now he's going another route of calling out a guy who hasn't fought in almost 4 years. Almost 4 years coming off of a loss. I don't know what planet this guy's brain is on, but I don't even know what to call it, man. The guy is delusional. He needs to fight an actual contender in this division, either myself, a Pedion, or even I would even watch a rematch with Marlon Moraes. You know what I mean? Fight someone who deserves it. Fight someone who's on a win streak. Fight someone who's winning, not a guy who hasn't fought in 4 years, who's been on the couch just commentating, not a guy who's lost his first debut fight in the bantamweight division, who's 2-4 in his last 6 fights. Fight someone who's going to add some substance, not just these clown fights that this guy is trying to make. I don't even know. This guy is just crazy. At this point, I think he might have lost it. I'm touch with reality.
So for those that don't know, he's supposed to fight Henry Cejudo is supposed to fight Jose Aldo May 9th in this bantamweight title fight that's been very polarizing. A lot of people, including myself, said that that's not the fight to make. It doesn't make any sense. But now, of course, with what's going on around the world, there's a very good chance he can't get to Brazil or that Aldo can't get to America. We don't even know if these events are still going to be going on. They still don't have a location for heavyweight teeth. But let's just assume for a second they do figure this out. What you're suggesting is, pick me. I'm here in America. You're in America. I should be the one fighting you. Let me ask you this, though. If they keep the date, May 9th, could you fight on May 9th, or is that too soon?
I mean, it gives me a whole nother month to let my hand heal up. I mean, that's an ideal. They were talking about me potentially fighting in San Diego. And
Right.
then this whole crisis happened, and I was like, well, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get into a gym anytime soon. But if they're going to offer me a title shot, I think we could make some exceptions the same way Khabib and Ferguson did at their gyms, and just having their core set of guys training in the facility by themselves. That's something that we could 100% do and accommodate for. So a fight that's not going to do much for me right now versus a title fight, something I think I deserve and earned. I say why not? You know, I think I could definitely pull it off. I've been training like this since December with one hand when my hand was still in the cast. So I'm pretty sure another month is going to be able to do the trick and get me nice and ready to strip the belt off of that clown, man. Someone needs to take that belt away from this guy.
Is the hand cleared though? Like, is the wrist medically cleared? Could you fight medically? Would they allow you to fight?
I'm cleared in terms of my actual repair. That's healed. The only thing that we're trying to work on right now is range of motion because it's just really stiff still. Other than that, I'm cleared. They told me,
Okay.
do whatever you want. No restrictions when I'm punching, anything. You know, it's actually weird. I feel a little bit more bothered, like a little bit of pain when I punch with the boxing gloves. But when I punch with the 4-ounce or the 7-ounce gloves, my Everlast gloves, those don't bother me. But
Okay.
the big boxing gloves actually do it's really weird for some reason. The other ones don't.
Okay. And I liked what you and Corey were saying when there were these reports that you guys were fighting May 16th. I mean, that event is not going to happen in San Diego. California is not going to be doing an event on May 16th. Bellator canceled their May 9th and 29th cards in California. But was there ever any serious talk about you guys fighting on that card before all this happened?
Yeah, there were talks about him and myself. There were talks about myself and Frankie. I even threw Cruz's name out there, and Cruz is a guy I actually would like to train with. If I'm not going to fight him, and I know he's almost on his way out, I think he's done enough with the sport, and I think he's probably at peace with everything he's done. That would be a guy I would like to learn some stuff from before he makes his complete exit from the game, or maybe he's just going to teach on the side or something like that. So if we're not going to fight, I would like to train with somebody who's of status quo. You know, the same thing with Frankie Edgar. We live right next to pretty much right next to each other. We've never trained together, which always made me scratch my head, like why he never wanted to train with me, or whatever. Why haven't we trained with each other, for lack of better words? But if I'm not gonna fight those guys, I would like to train with them. If I'm not gonna train with them, then let's fucking fight. I want to fight one of these guys, one of these legends, and make my name for myself and stake my claim in this division. Even though I think I've done enough work with my resume for the guys I've beaten, but it's always nice to beat a legend, especially I'm not taking a legend fight in a title fight over guys who deserve it. You know, I'm willing to take that fight and go backwards against Dominic Cruz, who's not ranked right now, hasn't fought in 4 years, coming off of a loss. I'm willing to take that fight, which is riskier for myself. I'm willing to take a fight against Frankie Edgar coming off of a first-round knockout loss, and I think he also lost his fight before that. And yeah, so that's what to Max Holloway. So I'm willing to take those fights that make sense in terms of what I'm trying to accomplish for myself. But if I'm going to get a true number one contenders fight, I'll take that all day long. That's pretty much my mentality on things. And like I said, Corey's name was on the table. Frankie's name was on the table. Dominic Cruz, I threw his name in the cap too. And I'm ready to beat one of these guys up. These knuckles are itching. They're itching. It's almost a year. It's almost been
I
a
know,
year.
it's crazy. Time is flying, and so much has happened in that past year. But let me ask you this: did you ever ask Frankie why you guys have never trained before?
No, we've never actually sat down where I've had the time to actually ask him that. And 2 years ago, I fought his guy, Marlon Moraes. So I would think that 2 years ago that wouldn't have happened either. And now I think it's kind of weird, especially with him coming down. So I think just the combination of everything. I still see him here and there, but at this point, there's no point of even asking. I think what's done is done, and he's going to come down, and we're going to have to figure it out, either him and myself or him and somebody else. And we'll see if he belongs down in this division, if he can still hang with the top guys and go about it like that.
Okay, so what's the message to Henry? Henry's watching right now. He stalks all my stuff. He can't get enough of me. He's always hitting me up. What's the message to Henry Cejudo? Tell us.
Henry Cejudo's a clown. He's a big joke. The people want the Funk to dethrone him. It's the people's vote. Bring him on. Tell him the Funk is coming.
Let's go.
Coming.
Come on. For God's sakes. Aljo, give me an underrated fight that you want people to watch. Not the casual ones, like not the ones that everyone talks about. Give me something in the vault. Old school fight that you love from back in the day that you suggest all these people watch.
A good matchup. Dang, put me on the spot. There's so many of them. I would think of a fun fight to watch, underrated. Jose Aldo versus Mark Hominick. That was a fun fight.
Ooh, that was a fun fight. Yeah, UFC 129. The
Yeah,
big hematoma.
yes. And him coming back in that fifth round when Aldo was too big for 45. I have to go up to 155. The weight cut's too tough. Now I'm a bantamweight. I wonder why. I wonder why. I'm not gonna make no accusations. I
Oh,
wonder why. I'll leave it
okay.
at that. I'll leave it at that. But that was a great fight. That was a great fight to watch. I think people definitely enjoy watching that one, and I know I did.
Classic one. Aljo, thanks, my man. Stay safe out there, all right? And
Hey,
hopefully,
you
yeah.
too. And if you need some help with some technique videos or how to stay in shape, you go to my YouTube channel and I'll hook it up. I'm gonna have
What
some
is
good
it?
stuff up there. Funk Master MMA on YouTube. We're gonna do some core workouts with the plyo balls and some resistance band stuff for people. So people that want to do some home workouts. If you have a home gym, if you're fortunate enough to have one, I have some stuff up there for you guys to get it in, stay in shape.
Amen. Well done. Good man. Thanks, Aljo. All the best to you guys. You
Peace.
just press the X right over there, Aljo. There it is.
Oh, there it is. There it
You
is.
see? There it is. Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master himself, sending a message to Henry Cejudo saying, come on, Henry. Henry's scheduled to fight on May 9th in Brazil against one Jose Aldo. And now he's saying, if Jose can't come, what about Dominic Cruz? Who I love. I love Dominic Cruz. Hasn't fought since UFC 207. We talked about this yesterday. The last time he fought was when Ronda Rousey fought Amanda Nunes. Ronda Rousey, Amanda Nunes. Could you believe that? I mean, that's a long time ago. Great fight, amazing fight, but long time ago. Him and Cody Garbrandt it was great. It was classic. Great performance by Cody. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, we could talk about all this stuff all day long. The facts are they're focused right now on April 18th, but they don't have the location yet. Northern California, Oklahoma, Kansas, Florida. These locations have been discussed, but nothing for sure. And now they're talking about doing something domestically, no longer internationally. So if you're in one of those areas, perhaps you could be lucky, although it'll be closed off to the public. So who the hell cares for you? You'll probably be able to watch it on TV like everyone else. There is WrestleMania this weekend, 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday on the WWE Network. There's also WrestleMania 35 airing on ESPN Sunday afternoon. But I just spoke to Triple H, the man, the King of Kings, the Game, the executive VP over at World Wrestling Entertainment. We talked about how they were able to put this on. And look, a lot of people have said, how are they able to put this on? I was just talking to Golic and Wingo this morning, cheap plug. How are they able to put this on? And UFC is running into problems. Well, the big difference is WWE doesn't have to adhere to the state athletic commissions. They don't have to go to the Florida State Athletic Commission and try to get sanctioned, try to be regulated. They could just do it on their own. And so in that case, as long as they're being healthy and safe and following all the protocols that the government is putting into place, they're able to do this sort of thing. The UFC doesn't have that luxury. They have to adhere to the rules of the state athletic commissions. And these are the problems that they're having. That's why they're looking into tribal lands. That's why they're looking into places that they used to hold events in back in the 90s, no longer. So the places that I mentioned, for the most part, they're looking at tribal lands. What's a tribal land? Like a Mohegan Sun. Mohegan Sun is on a tribal land, and they are regulated by their own athletic commissions. So they don't have to. Mohegan Sun is in Connecticut, right? So they don't have to adhere to the Connecticut State Athletic Commission. I just saw a question there. Do I think they'll do another tough season? This is from our friend Brian Boom Kelleher. I don't think that they'll do another tough season anytime soon. I think that they really like Contender Series. I think Contender Series has been a good outlet for them in terms of finding new talent and developing talent. And it's live and it's different. And it's fun. I personally think that The Ultimate Fighter sort of ran its course. That it's not as good in this day and age as it was. It's not as useful to the promotion as it was back in the day, in large part because there's so many fighters in the UFC, so the talent just isn't there to sustain a show like that, to have people in a house. There's just not as many prospects out there. There's not as many interesting characters. So if you do a one-off type show like Contender Series, you just bring people in, you have them fight, and you're not necessarily looking for personalities and fighters. You're just looking for fighters. It's a lot easier. And I think having the Apex, which, it could end up being a godsend to them if the Nevada Athletic Commission allows them to do events there. They're still holding out a hope that at some point, before all of this is wrapped up, they can do events at the Apex, is what I'm told. Doing it at the Apex in that controlled environment, doing it live in front of a small group of people, I think has been very good for them. It's been one of their better ideas over the past few years. So I think that the Ultimate Fighter, it had its time. It was good for what it was, introducing people to the sport back in the Spike TV days, a little bit in the FS1 days, but towards the end, it really started to, fizzle out. I really think that the Contender Series is the new Ultimate Fighter. There's really no need to have an Ultimate Fighter unless you do an old school version with the likes of, Phil Baroni and Pete Sell and Scott Smith. Hook me up with people like that. Dylan Dennis, I've tried to get him on here, but he's very elusive. He likes to stalk and kind of leave comments here and there. He likes to, troll when we have Kevin Lee on, but every time I actually formally ask him to come on, I get the stiff arm. By the way, it's April 1st, so don't be falling for these crazy stories out there. There's a lot of crazy stories. People have a lot of time on their hands right now because they're all at home, and I don't want you to fall for those, all right? So please be careful. Drink responsibly as well. This is my water. This is my water bottle. You see right here, it says Helwani. See that? For my kids, for the youngsters. So we have that coming out. Might have something else coming out. Ariel the Bad Guy, by the way, is now on Fridays. Got the podcast coming out later today. So we are rolling here. That's why I keep talking about the train, because we are a train. We are a locomotive here at ESPN MMA, and we ain't stopping for no one. We keep this train rolling along all day long, like the great Burt Watson used to say. And if you want to jump on the train, we're making stops all over the place. We've stopped in Ohio today. We've gone to Long Island. Last week we were in Limerick, Ireland. Where else were we? In Poland. This train is international. It's able to cross through the borders. But if you're not a part of it, if you're not down with it, if you're not into it, we can leave you by the side. It's all good. It's all good. But we got a lot of content here. We're working. We're trying to give you guys information and content and stuff to think about, stuff to get your mind off things, an escape valve, if you will. And I got to say, one of my favorite things to do in my very, very, very spare time right now, I found a new hobby, guys. I have found a new pastime. I have found something that has brought me a lot of joy. Everyone's doing Instagram lives now, right? Everyone's doing Instagram lives. I see like a million of them at the top of my feed. And, whether or not you guys want to give us credit for doing it first, that's on you. I personally think we started it, but whatever, neither here nor there. Shout out Cheeto Vera. You were amazing yesterday. You're the man, Marlon Vera. I go on other people's shows. And I like to write comments. It's a lot of fun. Sort of like what Niko Price just did. I enjoyed very much. Let me see here. Niko Price in the house. I like to write on other people's shows, their IG lives. I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I'm doing it all the time. I just pop in here and there. There he is.
Oh,
Niko Price in the house. How are you,
come
sir?
on. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Where are you right now?
Oh, I'm at my house. I'm on
What
my
are you
porch.
doing? Oh, you're just chilling, or are you working out there?
Yeah, I just got done training.
Who are you training with?
Just my coach and one other training partner.
Are you
Keep it under-
practicing social distancing?
Yeah. So, like, jiu-jitsu and social distancing doesn't work.
Okay.
But I tried flying stuff.
What do you mean flying? Oh, like flying knees
Flying
and stuff?
triangles.
Right.
Flying guillotines.
Right.
Try flying heel hook. You ever try that one?
Personally, no, but I hear they're a lot of fun. By the way, congratulations. You just signed a new 4-fight deal with the UFC, right?
Yes, I did. It's awesome.
Was your last fight the last fight on your contract?
No, I had one more after that one.
Okay, so you didn't want to test the waters.
No, I just call them up like, yo, what's up? And they send me a cool one, so I'm happy.
You're happy.
I'm blessed. Yeah.
No negotiations, no nothing.
Oh, no need on my part. I'm happy.
Wow. You're the
I like,
man.
dude. I used to fight for like 5-5, dude.
Right.
Like, and that's 500 and 500.
Oh my gosh.
So
How long
like,
ago
yeah.
was that?
Oh, before the UFC. Like
Right,
my
of course.
last fight before the UFC, I only made 12-12.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like I worked full time until the call.
Wait, when you say 12 and 12, do you mean 12,000 or 1,200?
1,200.
Okay, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
not 12,000. That was like my first UFC one.
Right. And you said you worked full time. What were you doing?
Oh, I was a landscaper. I was
Man.
cutting your grass, bro. Trimming trees, cutting grass, everything. And then I started my own pressure cleaning business. I had my own landscaping business.
Oh wow.
And then I went into the fight game. Well, made it to the UFC.
Did you close those businesses or are they still around?
No, I just let them go. I was just like, yep, they don't need to see Nicholas Price pressure washing or lawn care anymore.
That's right. Is that your full
Retire
name,
that.
Nicholas?
Yeah, Nicholas Gordon Price.
So where does the Niko come from? Nickname?
Niko is my grandpa's nickname, yeah. So I was named after him.
Oh wow. Did you lose
On
a
my mom's
tooth?
side. Me?
Yeah. What's
I
going
had
on
baby
there?
teeth.
What?
Yeah, baby teeth.
What does that mean?
No teeth ever grew under to push them out. Isn't that crazy?
What?
Yeah, I've
That's the
had baby
craziest thing.
teeth. This is my first set of teeth, and I still got them.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. They never came
Nobody
out.
can knock them out, bro.
Those two. How many is it? Two?
Just two babies right in the middle.
And they never came out. They never fell out.
Still there. Still there.
That is wild. Is that a real? I've never heard of such a thing. Did you ever
Yeah.
ask your dentist about that? Is that common?
They said it happens. So I was like, all right,
Wow.
cool.
Did you ever think of replacing them and just getting like fake teeth there? But
And not during fighting, I haven't.
right, yeah, it doesn't make any
Maybe
sense,
after
right?
fighting, I'll go get a whole new grill, maybe a new nose, maybe a new eyebrows, something cool, you know?
Yeah. No, you're looking fine now. That is. Have you ever met another? I've never seen another person who has something like that.
No, I've seen people who have like the teeth that come over, like more teeth.
Right.
But I think I'm the only person that ever met that or know
That
that
is
has no
amazing.
teeth coming in.
Did you have anything lined up before all of this?
Oh yeah, I was April 11th.
Oh, you were
I was
on
supposed to fight what's his
in
name? Muslim
Portland.
Salikov.
in Portland, right?
Yeah, it was gonna be a great one.
Man. And so
But
have
it
they?
happens, man.
What did they tell you?
I just saw that the next 3 fights were canceled, and I saw that April 11th was there, and I was like, oh, no, damn it. Oh, sucks.
Did they say that maybe you'd be on this April 18th card that they're trying to put
I
together?
haven't got any word, but like, yo, I'm ready, man. I'm still training, and you know I'm a showstopper and a showmaker, so that's a blessing of God, and I'm down to get it. Who put all them noses? I know
Oh,
I got
those.
a big nose.
I think that.
Are they talking about you or me? Which
Yeah,
one?
I feel like that. I mean, you could kind of give me. I feel like mine's bigger than
Yeah.
yours, with all due respect.
Yeah. Hey, yours is straighter though.
Well, I don't get punched in the face for a living. So, how big of a blow was that for you? Because you were kind of in the midst of your training camp, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's all, it sucks. But there's nothing I can do about it. It's a world epidemic, you know. It's
Of course.
a big problem. It's a
What do
lot
we-
bigger than us.
Of course. When are we going to see Mike Perry versus Niko Price?
Dude, whenever he signs, I'm ready. I'll fight Perry whenever. I'm not no drunk guy. That's gonna get knocked out like that. I know that was coming next. So.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine.
I feel like that's the fight that has to happen.
I'm down, man. I'll fight him any day of the week. I have no problem signing a contract with his name right next to it.
Mm.
So,
If you were Tony Ferguson, what would you do? Would you take the Gaethje fight or would you wait for Khabib?
I don't know. He hasn't fought in a minute, so I don't know how his funds would be. But like, I don't know. That's a really tough question. I would have to sit down with my wife and be like, "Yo, is this worth the career thing, or do we need this?" You know, like that's what it would come down to for me.
Yeah.
Like in his situation, but he also don't have 5 kids. I don't think.
Yeah, man. 5 kids. That is you just had another one, right?
Yeah.
How long ago?
He was December 30th.
Right. And you think you guys are done or what?
I'm hoping I'm done. Yeah, I just hope another one don't pop up like Ezra did. But hey, if we get one, we get it. It's a
Yes.
blessing.
What is it like with 5 kids? What are the,
Niko!
there he is, Marlon.
Sorry.
What are the age ranges?
8, 7, 4, 2, 3 months.
And what is it like at home right now with everyone at home?
Well, right now we got rid of 2 of them to go with Nona.
Oh,
So
really?
we got rid of 2 of them, and
Which ones?
the younger boys, my 2
Okay.
boys,
Wow.
the savage ones.
How about that? And were they okay with that?
Oh yeah, they were down to go over there.
Okay.
My Nona was like, "Yeah, we'll take them over to Uncle Tony's." I was like, "All right, take them over there." So,
And do you miss them?
oh no, they're good. They'll be there for a couple hours.
Okay, give us an old school underrated fight that you want people to watch. I've been asking. We've got some great suggestions. Old school underrated.
Old school, underrated. Oh man, Melvin Mainoff and Robbie Lawler.
That's an amazing one. Back in Miami when he hit his DC brought up that one last week on the show. Kicked his leg up like that and then knocked him out. Remember that?
Yeah. Yep.
Incredible. That was
Dude,
incredible.
He was getting leg kicked that whole fight. Like everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's just getting savagely beat right now." And then, doop, comes that hand.
Incredible. Yeah, that was an amazing fight. I was there. One of my favorite knockouts ever. Robbie Lawler getting his leg just like lifted up to the sky. Remember that? And then brutally knocked him out. Incredible. Niko, congratulations on the new contract, my man. And stay safe out there, all right?
Yes, sir. God bless everyone, and let's get through this together.
Yes, sir. You just press on that thing right over there. You see that thing?
That X. Got
that
it.
X. X gonna get you. Yeah, there you go. There he is, Niko Price in the house. He is the man, I should say. If you have not seen that fight, Robbie Lawler versus Melvin Manhoef, Strikeforce Miami from back in, 2009. One of the all-time great knockouts. Melvin Manhoef kicking Robbie Lawler's leg, and his leg is just like going up to the sky. I mean, it was just incredible how he was kicking him. And then all of a sudden, bang! Robbie Lawler knocks him out. I hope I didn't ruin it for all of you. I hope I didn't spoil the result. But if you're on something like this, I'm guessing that you've probably seen the fight. Do we have anyone else who wants to talk, or should I just wrap this up? We got a interview